Everyone, a very warm welcome to today's webinar. I'm Sini, and with me I have Gautam, who will be co-hosting this session. We are so glad to have you with us for another edition of our industry-focused webinar series.
Thanks, Sini. Over the past few months, we have explored how Zoho Writer can transform document workflows across industries like legal, real estate, healthcare, and finance. And today, we are thrilled to focus on yet another critical sector, manufacturing.
That is right, Gautam. So this webinar is tailored for those in the manufacturing space who deal with documents like inspection reports, SOPs, sales orders, checklists, and training records. Basically everything that keeps your operations running smoothly.
Exactly. And the best part, we will show you how easy and efficient is it to manage all of that with Zoho Writer without relying on multiple complex tools. Compared to traditional word processors, Writer offers greater automation, collaboration, and control all within one integrated platform.
So if you have ever wondered how to simplify documentation for your shop floor, QA teams, or even HR and training, you are in the right place. So let's get started. Before we get started, here are a few quick instructions to help you make the most of this session. We host these webinars every second Thursday of the month, where we explore how Zoho Writer can be used across different industries. So if you are interested in seeing how it works in various sectors, make sure to keep an eye out for future sessions. We'll also provide you the webinar page link where you can also look out for these future sessions. So today's webinar is being recorded, and we'll be sharing the recording with all the registered participants. If you have any questions during the session, feel free to drop them in the Q&A pane. Our product expert, Sam and Vadivel, will be answering them, and we will also have a dedicated Q&A session towards the end. Also, for better visibility of the shared screen, we recommend you to switch to the sidebar or the top bar layout. So Gautam, before we dive into the features, can you walk us through what we have planned for today's session?
Of course, Sini. We'll start with a quick overview of the kind of documentation typically used in the manufacturing sector. From there, we'll move on to show how Zoho Writer simplifies inspection and quality control reports, helps with SOP creation and collaborative reviews, and also supports structured quality control checklist. So this is how we have planned this session, and also you can expect how Writer helps create visual aids and process diagrams, automates sales orders by integrating with CRM or other ERP systems, and streamlines employee training documentation and certification records. Towards the end, we'll highlight the benefits of using Writer in the manufacturing environment and give a sneak peek into what's cooking behind the scenes.
Perfect, Gautam. That gives our audience a clear picture of what's coming up. Let's check the most used documents in manufacturing industries first. So since we just spoke about agenda, Gautam, let's begin with the most commonly used documents in the manufacturing space. These documents play a huge role in streamlining daily operations. So let's go through each of them to set the stage for how the Writer simplifies them. First, we have inspection reports used to document the quality checks done on raw materials, machinery, and finished goods. Then we have standard operation procedures, or called SOPs. These outline step-by-step instructions for recurring operations to maintain consistency and compliance. Visual aids are documents that include reference images, safety illustrations, or assembly diagrams that support training and operation. And closely tied to that, process diagram. These help map out workflows or production processes for better understanding and communication.
Next up is the quality control checklist, which helps team track routine inspections and ensure compliance with protection standards. And sales orders are another key document. So these are generated for product dispatch and customer billing, often in sync with CRM or other ERP tools. We also have material lookup forms used to fetch or verify materials required for a specific job or batch. And not to mention the job status reports, which helps supervisors and managers monitor the progress of ongoing work orders or protection jobs. Finally, we have product certificates that serve as proof of compliance, quality, or standards met by the final products. So that wraps up the key documents. And up next, we will show how Writer helps you handle these types of documents, starting with inspection and quality control reports.
Perfect, Gautam. So let's look at a practical scenario here. Imagine a quality control manager at a manufacturing plant doing a routine inspection of a newly produced batch. They need a structured way to mark off inspection points, record detailed findings, upload visual proof, and share it with their supervisor. In this case, they'll need checkboxes to confirm each inspection item, tables to organize measurement data, text boxes to provide specific remarks, and file upload fields to attach photos of any defects or observations here. So can you show us how all of that comes together in Zoho Writer?
Definitely, Srini. Let me show you how to create a fillable form in Writer using these features that we just talked about. So in this case, as you can see, this is a fillable template that we have created in Zoho Writer from scratch. So if you have any existing templates or if you have any existing PDF forms, then you can simply make use of the option where you can upload it into Zoho Writer directly. So simply click on upload document and choose the required format and select the document and upload it. And we also have an excellent AI detection tool that will automatically insert fields into the document. So now let's talk about the fillable templates for this example. So here, as you can see, there are various fields and tables added into the document. And not only that, we have also added various conditions. So this is the header area in which we have added a condition that if the result contains pass or hold or fail, accordingly, based on the result, we have to display the content in the header region. So this is the first condition that we have inserted. And not only that, if the inspection level contains 1, then we have to display certain areas, or if it is 2, then display a different area. So using conditions, we are displaying various contents within the same document. And further, moving on, as you can see, we have inserted various drop-down fields, text boxes, and not to mention the image upload field where they can inspect machineries and then put in their images if required. And furthermore, as you can see, there is also a file upload field available. So if there are any reference documents that needs to be submitted within the form, they can simply use this option to upload the files directly into the Writer document, which will be stored in OneDrive. So this is how you can create a template. So let me just go to the area in which the form exactly looks like. So this is the fillable form. So as you can see here, right now it's mentioned as fail. So let me just go ahead and fill up some of these criteria over here. So let me select level 1. So as you can see, once I selected level 1, the content accordingly changed. So let me say there is a sample availability. Then you can see that the entire row is being newly inserted, where I'll be able to insert some images. So let me insert this image. And further, I am selecting the approvers and etc. And not only that, I'm just adding if it is pass or fail, and I'm adding the overall result as well. So here, once I add the overall result, so let's just say I have kept this on hold. So once I do this, you can see that the header area automatically changed to old. So similarly, if I input pass, so let's just say this is a pass. So here you can see that the content dynamically changed according to the input that I have given. And finally, if I have got any reference documents, I can simply upload them here and go ahead and So here, as you can see, I have also got size restrictions. So based on the size restrictions, I can simply upload the file and go ahead and hit submit. So this is how you can go ahead and make use of this inspection report to make inspections within the manufacturing industry. And finally, what you can do is you can also make use of various output options. So in this case, what we are going to do is we are going to save this into a folder within Zoho Work Drive. So if you would like, you can also send it for email, or if you can simply put in sign up fields and send this document for sign collection or various other options as well. And not only that, you can also send these responses for approvals as well. So you can simply add an approver so that once the document is submitted by the inspector, it can just go to the manager who will be approving the content that is being filled out, and then the final action takes place. So that's about the inspection report.
Great. Thank you so much for that detailed explanation on the fillable form in Writer, Gautam. So we just saw how Writer can help quality control teams capture inspection data effectively. Now let's talk about another essential document, standard operation procedures, or otherwise called SOPs. These are critical in manufacturing for ensuring everyone follows the same steps, especially when new equipment is introduced or a process changes.
Absolutely, Sini. And the beauty of SOPs in Zoho Writer is how easy it is to maintain structure and consistency across all documents. So you can add professional looking cover pages to identify the process clearly. And you can use text boxes for drawing attention to important safety notes or warnings. And you can also insert headers and footers to reflect version numbers, approval dates, and document control info. And this is how you can, and also not only that, you can also span the SOPs to multiple steps and areas. So using multiple sections in document, you will be able to format and organize long procedures without affecting the layout across the whole file. And when it's ready, we can trigger workflows to send the document for review and approval right inside Zoho Writer without switching between multiple tools or multiple emails.
That sounds like a smooth process. So now to help everyone visualize this better, let's take a look at a real life scenario here. Say we have a flow supervisor who wants to document the procedure of operating a new machine. Once the SOP is filled out using the company's standardized template in Writer, it sends directly to the quality manager or plant head for review. If there is any policy change or safety update later, the same SOP is simply updated and sent again through the same approval flow. So can you walk us through how this works in action, Gautam?
Definitely, Sini. So let me switch over to the SOP document that we have created in Writer. So here, as you can see, we have added various elements in this document. So this is a cover page. So this can be found under insert, and you can see that there are various cover pages available. You can make use of this and arrange it according to your preference. And we have also added various text boxes within the document. So as you can see, these are text boxes that we have placed according to our preferences. And further moving down, you can see that we have added border within the document. So this can be found under the insert section. So you can go to the page setup, and under the advanced page setup, you can go to the document level setup to add in borders. And similarly, you can go for a section level setup to add borders if you're going to add only to a specific page. So here you can see that we have added this border only for a specific page. So we have used section level setup in this scenario. So now further moving on, you can see that there is a table of contents and various informations available. So not only that, you can also see that we have added a text box in order to show or highlight that this particular is a secure content. So this document is a secure content. So now not only this, we have also added footer areas and page numbers to indicate the page numbers in the document. So further moving down, so here you can see that we have added multiple sections within the document. So this is added using table. So we have added table to differentiate these rows and add content accordingly. So you can also make use of sections to provide multiple sections within a page. So if you go to the page setup, you have various columns available, and not only that, you can also make use of orientations to change your page orientation to landscape. So everything can be achieved using by adding breaks, by adding section breaks within the document. And we have also conducted previous webinars on this, so please do check that out when you're free time. So now moving on, so once this document process, the creation of document is completed, what you can do is, so in this case, we are going to create an SOP document, and this document has to be sent to the manager for approval and final publishing. So for that, what we can do is we can assign workflows. So here we have review, approval, and both combined together, which is review and approval workflow. So here I'm just going to send it for approval process. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select approval workflow, and here I can see the entire blueprint of this workflow that is going to be executed. So here you can see that the document will be sent for approval, and if it is marked as approval, it will go to the final process, or else it will be resubmitted for the suggested changes to be carried over, and then we can resubmit the document again for approval. So this is how this workflow works, and here if you would like, you can also execute any custom functions based on your own preference and push these final documents to various platforms. By default, we have two functions available in our gallery, which is publish or rename the document. So here we can use publish, so that once the workflow is completed, the SOP document will be published so that the entire organization can check this SOP document whenever they require. So this is how, using Writer's various options, you can create an SOP document, and using workflows, you'll be able to send the document for approval. And not only that, in the future, if they would like to make some changes in this SOP document, they can simply open the document, update the recent changes, and then send the document again for approval process. So that's about how you can use SOPs in Writer to create and send the document for approval.
Right. Thanks again, Gautam. So now that we have seen SOPs are created, and now let's move on to another key area, the quality control checklists. In manufacturing, these checklists are crucial for maintaining quality throughout production. They help supervisors consistently monitor raw materials, in-process components, and finished goods. And I believe Writer makes this process more efficient by allowing us to turn checklists into interactive forms. Am I right, Gautam?
Exactly. So with Writer, you can build fillable forms using checkboxes for inspection points, text fields for remarks, and image upload fields to attach supporting visuals. One standout feature is that you can import any existing PDF forms and instantly convert them into fillable documents. So you need not rebuild anything from scratch. So once completed, these forms can be automatically stored in OneDrive for later use. And not only that, you can also publish this document organization wide or to anyone across the internet, so that it can be accessed accordingly.
That's great. So now let's move on to a live demo on this, Gautam. So I'll give you a scenario here. So a quality control team performs daily checks at various stages of production. They use a standardized checklist to ensure nothing is missed. Once the form is filled and submitted, it's saved in OneDrive automatically for tracking and audit purpose. So can you walk us through how this can be set up and used inside Zoho Writer?
Definitely, see. So let me just quickly jump over to a checklist that I've created. So here you can see that there are various text fields and checkboxes inserted within a table, and this is being published within the organization, so that the QC inspector, irrespective of their manufacturing sector, they can just go ahead and access this form put in the details and the job ID, etc., and then fill out the information and go ahead and submit it. And not only this, we have also added options so that if there are any defects in the inspection or during the inspection time, they can simply add these images within this document so that they'll be able to easily identify those changes if required. So now let me just quickly access the form and show you how it works in real time. So here you can see that this is a date field which will indicate the date of inspection and the name of the inspector. So further filling out these details, we can simply go ahead and check the required regions and go ahead and enter the remaining information. And furthermore, as I mentioned, if there are any defects that needs to be highlighted, then they can simply click on this image field and click on insert image and go ahead and insert images. So furthermore, this can also be accordingly resized based on their preference. So once this process is done, all they have to do is just go ahead and click on submit so that the form gets submitted. And as we mentioned earlier, we have got various options that can be configured as output. So in this case, we are going to save this document back to work drive for later use, or if there are any immediate attention required, they can simply go ahead and send it for email as well. So this is how quality control checklist form can be created within Writer using the fillable templates.
So now let's talk about visual aids. Gautam, in manufacturing environment, how important is it to include visuals in document?
Well, it's extremely important, Sini. Visuals make complex instructions easier to understand, especially when it comes to safety or operational procedures. In Writer, users can easily add custom shapes, arrows, and diagrams to highlight key steps or warnings. And when it comes to layout, Writer gives the flexibility to switch between portrait and landscape modes depending on what works best for a specific procedure or display setting. And not only that, you can also prepare these documents to be print ready on different paper sizes, which is helpful when posting them near workstations or machinery.
So, Gautam, let's consider a practical scenario here. Say a machine in the plant malfunctions or jams during operation. It's essential that flow workers have quick, clear steps to follow. So, using Zoho Writer, you can build a visually guided document with diagrams and step-by-step actions to help workers respond safely and effectively. So, can you take us through how this can be built in Writer?
Definitely, Siri. So as we mentioned, so this is the visual aid that we have created within Zoho Writer. And for this, we have used an option called drawings available in Writer itself. So you need not go to a different tool just to put in some shapes or create some arrow marks or processes. So within Writer, you'll have the ability to create all the shapes that you require and insert them within the document. So here you can simply go ahead and add shapes, and we also have got various diagrams available. So you can add text within this, and all you have to do is just simply click on insert. That will just insert these drawings that you have added into the document. So now before we go ahead and create this document, in this scenario, what we have done is basically visual aids would be either in portrait or in landscape mode based on their own preference. So for this, since it's gonna be showcased near a machinery, we are using a landscape orientation. So for that, we have to go to the page setup and go to the orientation called landscape. So if you want multiple orientation within the same document, you can make use of section breaks and add or change the orientation according to your preference. So now, as you can see, these are various shapes added. So this is how we added the shapes. We have used a rectangle and the rounded rectangle shapes and inserted them into the document. So once this document is completed, all you have to do is just go ahead and print the document and publish it, or showcase it according to your preference in the machinery. So that's about visual aids within Writer. So you can make use of this document to uh, highlight any procedures or warnings near machineries.
Right. Thank you so much for that detailed explanation on visual aids, Gautam. So we have seen how useful these visual aids are, and that brings us to another essential part of manufacturing documentation, which is process diagrams. Zoho Writer supports Mermaid chart integration, which lets users create structured flowcharts, sequence diagrams, and more right inside the document. It's great for outlining step-by-step manufacturing processes. And for teams that prefer a more manual approach, Writer also allows the use of built-in shapes and connectors to visually map out processes, whether it's a simple assembly workflow or a full production lifecycle. It can all be represented very clearly. So we'll have a quick live demo with a scenario here. Let's say you are part of a manufacturing unit and need to train new staff or document your standard procedure visually. With Zoho Writer, you can directly insert Mermaid-based workflows or use shapes to design process diagrams that are easy to understand and update. So Gautam, can you walk us through how this is done inside Writer?
Definitely, Srini. So here, as you can see, I have added a manufacturing process. So this needs to be visually represented in a flow diagram so that it will be easily understandable for the employees who are working in my manufacturing industry. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make use of this Mermaid chart integration that we have in Writer. So for that, you have to click on the extensions available on the right panel, and here you should be able to find Mermaid chart. So if you're not able to find, you can click on find more on marketplace and search for the application Mermaid chart, and then you can install it within Zoho Writer. So now once the installation process is completed, what you can do is you can simply go ahead and add the flowcharts into the document. So let me quickly copy a code that I have already created. So not only simple diagrams, you can also insert complex diagrams using this extension. So it's here, as you can see, this is a simple diagram. So let me generate something more complex. Okay, so here you can see within just a click of a button generate, it automatically creates a entire flowchart based on my code that I've given. And not only this, we have also got various diagram, sequence, class, etc. You can make use of any one of these. And once this is done, you can also have options to change the theme and then go ahead and insert this flowchart into your document. So here you can see that I've already inserted this. So according to my preference, I'll be able to resize it and insert it as an image within the document. So that's how you can make use of Mermaid charts in Writer to create process diagrams for your manufacturing industry.
Right, thank you, Gautam. So now let's talk about production reporting. In a typical manufacturing setup, daily and monthly reports are vital for planning future productions. Am I right, Gautam?
Absolutely, Srini. And here's where Zoho Writer's merge feature comes in handy. Imagine a manufacturing firm tracking its sales data in Zoho CRM. At the end of each day or month, they can pull this data into Writer using merge and automatically generate reports that shows how many units were sold, produced, or pending.
So you mean to say they don't have to manually enter any numbers?
Exactly. And that's what makes it more powerful, that once the report is generated, we can also push the merged document back into the CRM record itself, keeping everything centralized for the sales and planning teams. So this will be extremely useful for production forecasting and inventory planning. So let me quickly show you.
That's super useful, Gautam.
Yeah, definitely, Sini. So let me quickly show you how we can configure this within the Zoho Writer. So here I have created a daily monthly report and I've used a custom module in CRM which is manufacturing details. So let me show you the module. So here I have information based on date wise, and as you can see there are various customers available and the product name and also the produced quantity along with the sold units as well. So here you can see the sold units. So using this information we are going to calculate the number of units sold by each sales representative, and also we are going to find out how many units sold for each products, which will allow us to plan the productions accordingly. So for this, what we have to do is we have to create a group by. So in this case, we have created a group by field called manufacturing details salesperson name. So we have used the salesperson as the criteria to group these informations, and furthermore we are using product name, factory name, and the raw material used, remarks, and the number of units sold by each sales representative. So this is the first table that we have created. So moving on, we are going to create another table which is grouped by based on the product name. So here based on the product name, so that we'll be able to find out the number of units sold in each product, which will allow us to plan the production accordingly. So further we have used aggregate. So based on the grouped product name, we are going to calculate the sum of units sold. So now once this configuration is done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check out the output format. So here you can see that based on the information, Karthik sold aluminum sheet for 4,490 units, and each sales representative and their number of units that they sold and to whom. So this is the first table that we configure. So moving on to the second table, you can see that the number of units sold for each products. So using these information, we'll be able to calculate the monthly report for each salesperson as well as for the product, which will allow us to plan the production in a better way. And now further moving on to the output option. So what we have done is we have merged this document and we are invoking a custom function. So since this information is pulled from CRM, what we are going to do is we are going to attach the merged document, which is the completed document, back to CRM record. So for that, what you can do is you can make use of custom functions, and here I have written a script so which will allow me to push these merged documents back to the CRM record itself. So not only this, we have also got various options for you. So you can push these documents to other cloud platforms, or even if you're using any other Zoho products, so like the Recruit, you'll be able to push these final document into the appropriate applications. So that's how you can make use of Writer to complete an entire cycle process and generate and report and attach them back to the particular record itself.
Great. Thanks for the detailed explanations. So, Gautam, employee training and certification are crucial in manufacturing environments, especially for those operating heavy machinery. So how does Zoho Writer help with employee training and certification records?
Well, in manufacturing, ensuring that employees are properly trained and certified is essential for both safety and compliance. Zoho Writer simplifies this by allowing us to automate the creation of training certificates using merge templates. So we can pull in employee data and training details to generate customized certificates for each employee. These templates can be sent to the employees via email, and you can also store these into WorkDrive for later use. So let me explain how you can make use of Zoho Writer to generate training certificates in bulk and send it out to your employees. So here, as you can see, this is a training certificate that we have created in Zoho Writer from scratch, and here you can see that we have added various elements, and the orientation, as I mentioned earlier, is landscape. So now here you can see that we have inserted merge fields, and sequence numbers as well. So here in this sequence number, you can see that we have added a prefix, suffix, and the numbers as well. So based on the number of documents created, sequence number automatically changes. So let me just show you a preview of how this works. So here you can see that these are the various employees who have undergone the training, and here once I select a different user, you can also see that the sequence number and the training manager and the founders, the training manager name changes according to their own criteria or the reporting manager. So this is how you can make use of Writer to generate documents in bulk and send it out. So here you can also insert the email address of the employees directly from your data source, so that the document will be automatically sent to them via email. So there will be no manual process required. So you can just simply click on a button and wait for the certifications to be sent out.
Great. Thank you so much for the live demo, Gautam. And can you help us with the benefits of this, Gautam?
Definitely, Sini. So with Zoho Writer, you can easily centralize all your documents like reports, SOPs, and safety protocols in one place. So no more juggling between multiple tools or keeping track of different versions. Everything is securely stored and you don't have to worry about losing any important files. And what really makes Writer stand out is the ability to automate document creation. Imagine automatically generating daily reports or certificates by pulling data from your existing systems. Plus, everything is neatly stored in Zoho OneDrive, so managing documents becomes more effortless. When it comes to things like checklist or standard operating procedures, Zoho Writer makes them interactive. You can create fillable forms from your team, and you can simply scan or send it out to your employees so that they'll be able to simply fill in the documents and submit it. So no more printing, scanning, or even worrying about any missing information. And for those times you need diagrams, charts, or flowcharts in your documents, Zoho Writer handles it better than most other tools. Whether you're creating training materials or safety documentation, integrating visuals is seamless, making the content more engaging and easier to understand. The best part is integration with your CRM or ERP system. Zoho Writer pulls live data to generate reports and certificates in real time, saving you from manual entry efforts and ensuring your documents are always up to date. So all these features work together to streamline your document workflows, save valuable time, and improve accuracy across the board. So let's take a look at of how these informations will be helpful, and let's take a look at the what's cooking section, where we have made several exciting updates which are to be released soon to enhance your document workflows in a better way. So one of the standout features is the ability to trigger document generation automatically based on key actions. So for example, when an order is created, when maintenance is scheduled, or even when a checklist is approved, Zoho Writer can automatically generate the necessary documents. This removes manual steps and streamlines your process. Another great update is the brand recognition feature. So you can now upload your organization's font to be hosted in Zoho Writer, giving your documents a consistent and personalized look. For teams collaborating on documents, we have enhanced collaboration capabilities where you can now lock sections of your document to prevent unwanted changes while still allowing other parts of the document to be edited. So this ensures better control and reduces error during team collaboration. We have also integrated payment support within fillable forms and auto-generated documents. For instance, when a customer fills out an order form, they can make their payment directly. The document like an invoice or agreement is then automatically generated. Additionally, you can also merge unique payment URLs into invoices, agreements, or order forms, making transaction seamless for both you as well as for your customers. Finally, we have made packing slips and labels even easier to create. So you can now merge shipment data directly into ready to print packaging slips and barcode labels, which simplifies logistics and helps save time in your operation. And finally, we have a webhook trigger for mail merge. So as you can see in the screenshot, we'll be providing yet another option within when to merge, where you'll be able to select on incoming webhook. So any Zoho application that supports webhook will be eligible to trigger mail merge whenever the webhook is initiated. So this is how you can use webhook to initiate mail merge in Zoho Writer.
Right. Thank you so much for letting us know about what's coming up in the near future code.
Thank you everyone for joining today. And as you might know, we host this webinar on every second Thursday of the month, and all the recording will be shared to all the attendees. And on the screen, you can see the support information and the contact number where you can reach us out. We also have live chat available 24/7. So please do reach us out if there are any questions, and see you in the next webinar. Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.